Every so often, I like to look around music streaming services and see how they've changed, how they've developed. I'm not particularly loyal to any one service, so I'm happy to change if another one sort of suits me a little bit better. Today, I'm looking at Qobuz, and this one does seem to have developed quite a lot over the last couple of years. I'm just giving you my first impressions, taking a look around the interface, and just giving you an idea of what I like and what I don't like. Right then, so here I am in the Qobuz desktop application. And this is it, really. This is what you get. So today I'll look at some of the things I like and some of the things I don't like, as I just mentioned there. And I probably, if I wanted to give a summary, overall, I'm not sure that this will be something I'll be continuing to use. Now, you can, of course, yourself try a free, get a free trial and try it out, see what you think about it. But if you're interested in my opinion, then stay watching. The main thing and the main complaint I have about this, and again, I want to stress that if I am using this incorrectly in any way, then I apologize. I am new to Qobuz, so I might have done some stuff wrong. But the main thing I have an issue with is music discovery. Discovery is a big part of a music streaming service as far as I'm concerned. I will go into a music streaming service and I will want to find and be presented with new music. And that's just pretty difficult to do in here. Let's just give you an example of what I mean. And again, if I am doing something wrong, I apologize. But this is my Discover page, okay? So I've got my tab at the top left-hand side here, which says Discover. And then I've got this first section here, New Releases, right? Pretty straightforward. This is June 2021 when I'm recording this. What do we have here? Jessie Ware, What's Your Pleasure? This, let's just take a look here. This album was released on the 26th of June 2020. This is a year old, this album, and it is appearing in the new releases section at the recently released album section on Qobuz. This essentially says to me, all your stuff is out of date. It makes it useless for me as far as music discovery is concerned. So that's one issue. Secondly, let's go to the playlists, right? So we move a bit further down here and take a look at these playlists here. These look pretty neat, right? You got sort of different genres of playlists. You got the hip hop rap playlist. You got some new in folk, some new release. Are they new though? Because we've just seen that the top of their page, the top section of their interface, should I say, on the desktop app, is showing an album that's a year old. So let's go into the rap releases here. Let's just have a look, see what we got in here. Okay, Masked Wolf, Astronaut in the Ocean. This isn't a new song. This is the number one song on their playlist. This isn't new. None of this is new. Now, some of you might have noticed that just in the sort of top right-hand side of the screen there, or on the right-hand side, it does actually say that this is a top 20 of hip-hop and rap. So potentially just the things that people are playing the most in that genre. But unfortunately, it is clearly, as I mentioned, under the new releases tab. So I've no idea why that playlist is even in there, because it doesn't contain any new releases at all. There are new release playlists in there in the new releases section, but they also contain old songs as well. So I have no idea who curates this or keeps it up to date, but they seem to be doing a pretty bad job of it. In the past, I've used primarily Tidal, and to be honest, although they have a leaning towards a certain genre, you can filter by the genre you want, and it does present you with the newest of the new songs, and that's what I need. This is completely useless in that respect, and it's such a shame because in other respects this is actually quite a nice interface. It's very simple, it's very clean. The other thing I don't particularly like, which I did mention, I did sort of contact them actually, if you go into the genres here, you can choose between various genres, you can filter, and you can choose between blues, country and folk. Well, to me they're quite different. I want to filter by country and only country. So why are you bundling these together into where you've got kind of folk and country, very different sort of genres, at least to my ears they are, I want to be able to filter. I just don't see why they haven't got that capability around filtering. So there we go. I mean, that's my main, I guess my main complaint about this service is that it is just so poor as far as music discovery is concerned. However, let's talk about the good side of it, because it does have a decent library. Everyone's sort of said in the past that Qobuz had this limited library. That's not the case anymore. You can look for literally anything. I mean, here's my rather limited search history. Well, this doesn't work, by the way. Delete history down the bottom. Doesn't do anything. And you can search for stuff, and you can find, you know, I've looked for some fairly typical kind of test tracks, as we used to call them back in the radio days. And yeah, I found, you know, if I look for Lord here, and look under the artist Lord, well, look at this song. I think was released today. So great. Oh yeah, there we go. Released on 11th of June, and there it is. You know, it's available, and you can go into any artist and search, of course, as you would expect. So let's just choose Queen. The reason I'm choosing Queen is because hopefully they've got a fairly big catalogue. And you go in, you know, you've got your most popular tracks there, and then you scroll down, and as you scroll down, it's like as if it's indexing it in the background, because it gets to the bottom like this, and then it starts adding more to it, and more to it, and more to it. It's basically loading it as you're scrolling down, and it literally is just enormous. I have not found any problem discovering the track, you know, finding the track that I want. So if I know what I want, then this service is great, because it's got the library. They're all lossless, so they're all 44.1 16-bit or higher, and they are truly lossless. They're not serving something that isn't lossless. I'll come on to that a little bit more in a second. I'll just take you around the rest of the interface and show you what's what. So we've got our Discover section, as we've just been in here. You've got the player down the bottom here, which is a really nice player, actually. I mean, they're all pretty much of a muchness, really, aren't they, as far as the players go down the bottom of the page. But this one's got everything clearly laid out, all the information you need, and you've got your sort of sound device here that you're using. And we go into playlists. So I've got just one playlist I've created with a few bits and bobs in. And standard again. Favorites can be by releases, so that might be like you've selected a whole album, or tracks, specific tracks. So I've got a few in here which I added in, and then artists. I've got nothing in there at the moment. So yeah, your favorites can be split by those three things. Then you've got purchases, because on Qobuz you can actually buy songs and download the file. I mean, this is almost unheard of in 2021 on a music streaming service. Yes, you can buy the music. So if I want to go into, this this classical album here, this Brahms Symphony No. 3, Serenade No. 2, and I can go into here. Oh, this one is great. Typical. I pick an example that's not available to buy. Okay, let's try something else. Yeah, good example. Well done. Oh, let's try Jessie Ware then. Can I buy Jessie Ware? Go into here. Yeah, and I can buy this, and I can click on here, and I can say exactly what quality I want. Do I want to buy the high-res version, which is £2.49, or the CD quality version, which is £1.49? But when they say, let's just take another step back here, and let's take a look at the bad stuff again. When they say high-res, I'm going to zoom in just draw your attention to one particular part of the screen here. They're saying high-res just because this is 48K 24-bit. In fact, they say this is high-res if it's 44.1, I think, 24-bit. So essentially, they're saying an album that is probably processed and whatever, and the dynamic range won't ever use 24 bits, is high-res just because it's 24-bit. Okay, well, maybe that might make a difference in terms of classical music and very, very sort of, you know, with a huge dynamic range within it. I suppose, yeah, it's higher than CD standard, isn't it? It's CD digital audio. It's higher than that. So in that case, I suppose it is. But really, I would have expected that sticker, that high-res sticker, to be only applied to songs that are maybe sort of 88.2 or 96 or above. Never mind, we won't get into that. I don't really want to, in this video, to discuss those particular sort of aspects because it's not something I'm massively qualified to talk about, and it's not something I particularly care about either. What I care about is that I'm able to get lossless out of this. I don't want MP3 quality, I want lossless quality, and anything past that I'm not really bothered with. So yeah, so we've got a favourites, and purchases would go in here if you have them, and you can download them. And of course, you've bought those, so you can do whatever you want with those then. Then you also have an offline library. So this is currently showing me everything that's in my cache, because of course, when you play a song, it caches it. So this is showing me stuff that's in my cache, and you can select whether it does that or not, or whether you literally just go into the Discover section, and then I go to here, and going back into this classical one again, and I can do an import. And when I import it, it goes into my offline library. Now, that's not available for you to use anywhere else, of course, only in Qobuz. But, you know, you can put it into there, or you can have it show your entire cache, because this is the stuff that's currently stored in the background, I guess. And that's all there is to it. So there isn't much in the interface, and I like it because of that. I like it because it's a nice, simple interface. But if I'll just go into my account options here very quickly, so you can take a look at those, into my settings. Got my account, set up a proxy, nothing particularly interesting there. Interface wise, a couple of basic options around, whether it opens in full screen, activate system notification, display music. So this is the option here I was talking about there, display music stored in the cache in the offline library. Music playing, then we've got high res. So this is a maximum that it'll do. So if the track's only available in CD quality, if you have this selected, it will only play in CD quality, of course. So it won't ever serve you something upscaled, basically, if that's the correct term for music. So you can set this to this, and always have the best coming through then. You might not want to do that, and again, I'll talk about that in just a moment. Your audio output device, you can configure AirPlay through here, buffer sizing, and your cache management as well, and you can empty the cache. So actually, if I just empty that cache, does that then remove all the stuff from my offline library? Yes, it does. And there we go. I think overall, I don't really know who this is for, this service. I think it fails in many of the areas that a streaming service should be good at. The only thing that it is particularly good at is this down the bottom here. So you've got your options, as I had in the settings there, around what you are served. And when you are served this, it truly is this. If I change this now, it will physically change the rate on the sample rate on my RME sound device here. It will actually have the suitable control to do that. And therefore, when you're playing the song, it'll see that the stuff coming in is 192 or 96 or whatever, and the sound card will up its sample rate internally to match that. So you know that the stuff you're getting out is actually this rate. Now, of course, who knows what was done in the mastering process, and who knows what was done behind the scenes. But what you see here is what you get. So if I manually set this to 16-bit, I will be getting a 16-bit version out, even if it can be higher. So an artist that seems to have some very high-res stuff is Nora Jones. Unfortunately, I really do not like her music at all. But never mind. It's neither here nor there for the purposes of this video. But here we go. Yeah, look at this. So we've got a 24-bit, 192 kilohertz track. Now, if I play this, because I've set this to 44.1, I will genuinely get a 44.1 version, a lossless 44.1 CD digital audio version. That is the selling point as far as I'm concerned about Qobuz. Pretty much nothing else, because it's not particularly great at anything else compared to what I've used in the past. So I don't know. I hope this helps you make a decision whether you like it or whether you don't like it. I think Qobuz has come a long way. Don't get me wrong. It's also quite good as far as price is concerned, because I think this is $14.99 as opposed to, for example, Tidal, which would cost you $19.99. And then there's also complaints around Tidal. Even if you have it set to hi-fi, it's actually sending you it's not predictable basically what version it's sending you. It might be some kind of unwrapped MQA version or some weird stuff like that. I really don't know the details on that. But yeah, this at least gives you what you want. It's come a long way in the sense of it used to look so rough around the edges. It looked like something from 2005. And you can sometimes still get to that when you dig a bit deeper into the website and stuff. You can get back to that old style sheet, if you like, from ages ago. And then you realize how much it's advanced and how much it really does look like a genuinely decent offering as far as streaming service goes. But if you want to discover new music, forget it, because this isn't the way to do it as far as I can tell. If I've done something wrong, please do tell me in the comments, but I hope that helps you make your decision as to whether this is something you're interested in. If you've used Qobuz or you've used any other streaming services, I'd love to hear from you in the comments and let me know what you think of it, which one you're happy with, which one works best for you. Is lossless something that you insist on? Do you not care? Do you just want to listen on your phone and it works fine for you because you're not going to hear the difference anyway? Let me know what you think anyway. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you soon.